How's it going, guys? It's Wes here with Aurawest Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the bi-weekly. That's going to be going into January, the first 2 weeks for the Zodiac sign of Cancer. Okay, for this particular video, I'm going to be looking at some general messages, just some challenges that you're going to probably deal with in those first 2 weeks. We're going to look if you are single, in love, single dealing with somebody, so it's going to be our love section. I'll be looking also for those that are not dealing with anyone. So if you're single and not dealing with someone, we'll look at you too. Those that are in a relationship will be after that, and then finally we'll have your financial side of things, okay, and then we'll bring the video to a close. Timestamps will be down in the comment section down below, okay, to make it easy for you to navigate this video. So let's get started here. Alright, and general, starting at 40 minutes. What general messages do we have for the Zodiac sign of Cancer going in the first 2 weeks of January 2022, please? Going to get past, current, and future. 2 for past, 2 for current, and 3 for future. General messages. So, Cancer. So, in your past position, you'll have 2 of Swords in reverse, the Sun, and, 2 of Swords upright, the Sun reversed. This probably indicates there was some type of thinking period going on. Might, for a small portion of you, been a sense of kind of challenge and just kind of finding yourself a little bit. The Sun in reverse does talk about unhappy times, sometimes discontentment in general, so I have to assume that you might have been going through some hardships where things probably fell apart for you in some way or another. Generally speaking in life, when things are not going our way, we're going to be sitting in decision. And this is oftentimes talking about 2 different options. It's very similar to the 2 of Wands, but it's slightly different. This is, 2 of Swords does talk about more silence. So you might have had a lot of time to yourself to really reflect on things that may not have been working out, and how to change it, or where to go, for that matter. The Sun in reverse does, like I said, talk about more individuality a little bit. It is the happiest card in the deck, the tarot deck. But it's reversed here, so I have to assume that, like I said, there's probably issues going on of some sort. And we're not going to clarify too deep in here because just for the sake of time. Okay, coming into your current is the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles. I have to assume that this is a reconnection with somebody, Cancer. For many of you, it could be a soulmate connection. This is somebody that you might have had history with. Generally, with the Lovers showing up, does talk about, oftentimes, more times than not, is somebody you've had history with, you've established that you have gone through a lot of different memories and things with this person. On the flip side, it can also indicate a new potential lover coming in with the Ace of Pentacles. So some of you, very soon here, if you have it, may have an opportunity opening up. Hence the Ace of Pentacles here. Either someone's going to approach you, or you're going to stumble upon this opportunity. Or maybe it's just reconnecting, like I said, with somebody you already have history with. I don't know. Going into the future, though, which is going to be essentially the first 2 weeks of January, we have the Strength card, the 6 of Cups, and then the Moon in reverse. Okay. Hopefully I'm holding that right. So, what's interesting here is it does look like, when I told you in your past position here, you're kind of having a reflection period. It's shown here almost, you're holding up your head, you're holding your head up high, and you are moving forwards your Cancer. So, there's something that you're positive about. 6 of Cups does talk about a lot of pastimes and things, but in this particular context of what I'm seeing here, and especially with this Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles here, it's probably talking about equal give and take relationships. So for a lot of you, are probably going to have, and I would assume, and remember, folks, this is not, unfortunately, going to be for every single person, because there are different storylines. I'm a big believer in storylines. Some people are on certain ones, so they lead to different outcomes and things. I'll go and, I'll discuss that in another video one day, I promise, and then we'll kind of make sense to Wes's madness here. But, for a portion of you are going to have this opportunity to reestablish someone that you're very, tight connection with, and I think things are going to go well, and I think you are going to embrace it and enjoy it. Okay, so I like that. You might just be also, just kind of, it's probably allowing you to almost ease off just kind of feeling all the pressures of life. You might actually almost get a sense of just being a kid, again. I don't know. With the moon in reverse, they're just talk about releasing fears and anxieties. So I think there's going to be like, and also kind of seeing the light in things. So Cancer, I like it. If your general spread looks positive, I think things are going to look up. If times have been a little rough for you, expect them to turn up. And 2 challenge cards and 2 solutions going into the first 2 weeks of January. What does Cancer need to know? Wow. So we have 2 Cancer's cards. So your challenge and then your solution. Both Cancer. In a Cancer reading. Love it. Okay. So for some of you out there, and probably a larger portion, okay, the reason I draw 2 challenges is because most times, more than not, life only gives us 1 challenge at a time. But this could be different storylines. So one of these challenges should apply to you. Okay. The Chariot does talk about really forward movement, but it's not just walking or doing something. It's putting your lively force into something, whether that be starting a new business, going in a new direction, like moving to a different state. Maybe you've always wanted to do that. It could be just full force in your career to get promotion. It's putting everything you got. Okay, you're marching forward. You're pushing past roadblocks. Anything that have been challenges, you're moving past it. That is in your challenge position. Okay, and solution here is the Queen of Cups, which doesn't just talk about love, Cancer. It does also talk about creativity, having emotion in the thing. So, for example, if you have a business idea that you want to start, everybody wants to be their own boss. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Set your own schedule, do your own things, whatever. But at the same time, in order to have that vision, to get it off the ground, you really have to put some love into it, some creativity, have some creative drive. Imagine it. Where's it going? How do I get this off the ground? What would make me happy? Ask those questions. For others of you, this could also be indicating, and I just want to touch on a second alternative for this chart here. It could be in the direction of whatever this connection is. Some of you may be hesitant, okay, to want to really push forward with it. I don't know why. Because in some ways, the Strength card can be holding back to, and we can apply it and say this is memories here, so maybe you're holding back and kind of thinking of better times with this person. So for some of you, this opportunity might fall through. I'm getting a sense, intuitive sense, that some of you may reconnect with someone temporarily and it might fall through. Okay? That's a small portion, but I want to stick with that positive note that I had earlier. Okay? But if it is the situation where, things are falling through a little bit, it may, say that not being emotionally available to that person could, be the issue. And you probably need to put some more, some work into it, baby. Make that relationship work. I mean, so if you're the type of person that's been emotionally shut off, not really open, to really being like emotionally generous to others or whatever. So if you have somebody that comes in that likes you and stuff, but you're always just holding back and you're not really doing a whole lot, it's probably suggesting that, hey, if you want that to work, you really need to put some more love into it. Okay. But I'm going to just stick with what I said in the beginning, that I think this is more you expanding on something that interests you in your life, that you want to push forwards with, do something different, and it's kind of coming in the challenge on whether you should, a little bit of hesitancy, and we did in your past, there had the 2 of Swords and the Sun in reverse, so that's why I have to think that. Right next to it is 5 of Cups. Wasn't I just talking, almost talking about challenge? Poor me. Feeling bummed out, feeling at a loss. Maybe something didn't go to plan. And I was just talking about that, with the Sun in reverse, that some of you might have had challenges with your identity, on who you are, where you're supposed to be in life. I'm not really, a little apathetic with how things are going. And it's talking about right here, especially for some of you that have been dealing with a toxic lover or something that's really challenged you. Maybe it hasn't been a toxic lover. Maybe it's just been a situation of just trying to find a partner and it never seems to get there. Okay, there's a lot of things that we can feel very pained with or sad, just disappointed. This guy's literally on his knees crying. It's not a happy day for him. It feels like he's at a loss. But remember this card. There's 2 cups in the back there, which suggests one thing. You have other opportunities that you're not seeing. Just be aware of that. Okay, so we can all, get upset about, the cups that spill and it didn't work out. Yeah, that cup's not coming back, but we still have 2 to work with. So that's all you need to get moving forwards. Okay, the Knight of Wands in reverse sometimes talks about just giving up prematurely, or it just feels like the odds are stacked against you. And this is like feeling like you're going up against a tidal wave that's just about 100 feet high. It just feels like an impossible challenge. You could have. It can also talk about sometimes stubbornness a little bit, and it's coming up as your the solution here essentially towards the Five of Cups. And I'm almost wondering if it's suggesting you need to probably just give up to some extent. Put down arms a little bit. Stop fighting a losing battle into something that isn't working. Because this is persistence when it's upright. It is kind of pushing through something, and it's suggesting almost stop doing it. I can only imagine if it's telling you to stop doing something, what would it be? To the Five of Cups, you're upset, disappointed. Okay? Now, I'm not going to clarify into all of these and find out more, because we'll be here all day. I can tell you that right now. So whatever that is, you fill in the blank there, Cancer. I mean, it's this guy's clearly upset. Okay, I don't know what about. Could be a lover. Maybe it's for some of you, like I said, not every single Cancer out there is going to be dealing with this situation. Why? Because there are moon Cancers. There's people with their rising as Cancer. Their sun is going to be different. It's not going to be Cancer, but they still might apply to the message, right? So it's going to be a little bit different for everyone. So you just see how it applies. I do get an overall sense, though, that there is something for a large portion of you going to be coming in relationship-wise. And that's what I'm getting. And if it's not that, then maybe it's just a brush with a past lover, okay, that wants to start something new, and it may quickly start and end. Okay, that's also a possibility. Anyways, let's move on now. We're going to keep it rolling because I've expanded these spreads. So that means more work on my part, which means longer video. I don't want these videos to turn into long videos if I can. Alright, we're going to be going to love now. Love the singles. Let's go start that. Got the pen out and didn't write the time out. What do we got for single Cancers going into the first 2 weeks of January 2022? Single Cancers dealing with a person who have recently been dealing with an individual or have somebody on their mind. These are for single Cancers who are not dating but have somebody on their mind that they've been on and off with. It's been in their life a little bit. Recently too, not last year. Recently. Tell me about this, the past, Cancer's past, with whoever they may be dealing with. Give me 2 cards. This is someone here, Cancer, with the Empress in reverse and the Eight of Wands, somebody that was probably a little cold, shut off, didn't grow with you. It's also possible that communication was stifled. The progress that you're looking for just didn't go anywhere. This person may have been just shut off to any type of growth at all with you. Okay, this person can also embrace more of their masculine side. Okay, so if it's a male you've been dealing with, and this is a, I call it the broski. It's the guy that, it's the person. It's essentially a male that is shut off to their feminine side. So they're just cold. They're cold as ice. Okay, and if it's a female, this is your female that's going to try and act more like a guy. They're going to have more guy qualities and do less things that a female would. Okay. But whatever the case is, the Empress in reverse can be someone that's also a bit of a bitch. This is a person that sulks. It can be mopey. It's not a person that you want, that you respect or look up to. The Eight of Wands in reverse, once again, it talks about, stifled communication, canceled travel. So I have to assume that things stopped moving forward with this person at some point. Who this person might be. Can you get 2 cards, please? Who's the person Cancer's likely dealing with? Somebody that gives up easily. A person that's always stuck in their mind. We're not going to go too much into that. That's all I need to know. Probably a Gemini for some of you. And also fire air sign of some sort. What has Cancer been focusing on this individual? It's been most on Cancer's mind. Tell me about this person. What has Cancer been focusing on about that person? 2 cards. Clarify the Knight of Swords in reverse and why Cancer's focusing on that. For some of you, this person has, so your focus has been wanting to get something off the ground with this person, Cancer. So, despite despite the delays and things that weren't going anywhere, you've got a nervous Nelly person over here. Somebody that could also even be a little bit obsessed with you, okay? I mean, tied up in their mind, wrapped up, can't escape. Even though the solution may be right there, obvious to them, they just can't see it for the life of them, okay? But whatever the case is, you seem to have been wanting to build with this person. You want things to get off the ground with the Magician here. It's very powerful energy with the Magician. Okay, this suggests that you almost feel that, the possibility for you guys to grow is there. Whether or not this person, though, recognizes that is a different story. The reason I'm saying that is the Knight of Swords is reversed, indicating that communication could have been stifled. Or it could have just been downright reckless. Ideas that were just shot out in the wrong ways. And it's clarifying to the Page of Cups. Almost like, I mean, it's possible that you offered this person or tried to flirt with this person, or you might have seen it that this person came in a little bit too recklessly, wanting to give you their cup or something like that. So that might be choking you up a little bit. So you might be focused to some extent more with the Magician and that together. Like, at the one side you want to build this person, but maybe this person intimidates you. The Knight of Swords can be somebody that can be very argumentative. Can be a little bit of an asshole sometimes too. But most certainly with the Knight of Swords when he's reversed, it's just, it's ideas that are basically, thrown in way too fast, too soon, and oftentimes ends up in failure. Hence the Knight, you might as well just view the Knight of Swords as somebody with a guy that's just like, it's like that car getting thrown 100 miles into the wall in the the testing center. Whatever, they watch what it does. That's kind of the Knight. It just charges on in there and boom. So mixing that with love, I'm sure it didn't go well. Okay, but it's also possible that, this might be you. And what I mean by that, and this is for a small portion of you, can also talk about desperation with that Knight of Swords in reverse. Desperate for love, to get things off the ground. So for some of you, might just have been, whoever this person is, maybe they're just not receptive to you. Or it's not going in the right way, and you're just a little bit desperate for them. What to expect with this person? Can you get 2 cards, please? What can Cancer expect with this person going into the first 2 weeks of January? Clarify Ace of Wands in reverse. Why can Cancer expect that? Just as I was talking about, that night with poor planning and stuff like that, here we go. Right here. Ace of Wands in reverse, talking essentially, what's being discussed here? Is, coming into your first 2 weeks here, Cancer, there's going to be delays, there's going to be problems, there's going to be slowdowns, there's going to be things that are not going to go your way. Energy that's going to be put in the wrong places, or just wasted in general. Why? Because of planning. Essentially, there wasn't enough reflection on what has and hasn't worked. And I just talked about someone here that's rushing in with bad ideas. Now it's talking about directly just that. Delays occurring from bad ideas, or just not enough energy into the right kinds of decisions. But what's interesting is the 7 of Cups is right next to it in reverse, indicating that whatever confusion you have, you're going to be coming out of it. So it sounds to me that you're going to realize that there's just things here that don't work. Poor planning in just a lot of areas. That's probably also why this person is confused as hell sitting up in their head. This person might just be sowing you confusion as well, Cancer. And I just want to caution you that it doesn't always mean to say that, when I do readings, there's a lot of different ways on who's doing what. Just remember that. Okay? And so there's a lot of possibilities. But what I'm seeing here is a period of slowing down, stagnation of some sort, things not really going in the right direction. But who this person is somebody that gives up easily, somebody that stays in their mind a lot, somebody that could definitely sow confusion. And now I'm seeing a card here indicating that you might be coming out of confusion. So I almost wonder, is this person just kind of confusing you? Are they just telling you one thing and doing another? Giving you vague answers? Kindas. You know, the kind of answers. Are we to be moving in with each other? We'll see how that goes. Let me check on my, we're doing it. Wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask what the 0.01% was. Family Guy knows me. There was an episode of Stewie, and it's like the guys, he's like talking about the Death Star, and he's like, it's like 99.9% indestructible. Wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask what the 0.001% was. Well, there's kind of like this little hole that if, it's kind of a choice by the architect, but if you shoot like a laser through it, it blows up the entire Death Star. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, that was a pretty funny episode. Anyways, that's kind of like that. I think that what, Cancer, if this person's been selling you confusion, you're going to be getting out of it. Okay, you're going to be seeing past it. And for a small portion of you, if you've been living in fantasy land about what this relationship is, whether it is one or not, meaning that some people like to treat it almost like they're in a relationship when they're really not and it hasn't been discussed, that is creating a fantasy of what you want. And this would indicate that if you've been in fantasy land, you're coming out of that too. What general messages do we have for our single Cancers? Is there anything else that Cancer needs to know? Cards, please. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, please. Why does Cancer need to know that? So, Cancers, these general messages are specifically to you. So, let's just first cover the death part. Okay, so death is showing up in your general messages, indicating change and transformation. Things not going your way, essentially burning to the ground, but for the better. Because through all that black dust on the ground from where the flames were, a shoot comes through. Beautiful green shoot, indicating that new life is emerging. Okay, so death is a powerful card. It does talk about times are changing. You are growing as a person. And with what I just talked about here, is that there is, to some extent, a transformation going on here. And that's because whatever the situation is, has just been delays and blockages. Going around in circles. Got a mad night going around, hitting the wall and stuff like that. Doing stupid things. Okay? Now, it is going to lead, whatever the case is, going into the first 2 weeks of January, you're going to be starting to change. Something's going to change with you. Probably what you're seeing in this situation is what I would assume. Okay? Right next to it is Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay? So some of you may have been feeling like your money has been really slow. Love has been slow. Everything in general has just been going, been having trouble sticking with your commitments. Maybe just a feeling like you're not really, your overall stability in life just sucks. Okay? And with the Seven of Wands here, indicating you've been on guard, closed off. And I think if I recall right, in the general spread was almost kind of indicating some things there too about that. With trying to overcome and kind of build yourself up as a person almost. And this is suggesting with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is somebody sometimes that is having difficulty really with her overall financial security in life. So some of you, that could have been a factor. Maybe you're dealing with somebody where you just kind of felt that, well, it's for the financial reasons I have to do it. But it's just, it's giving you this insecurity about life that doesn't really help you move forward, and it's keeping you on guard, on defense all the time. Could even be this person. It's in the singles reading here around this person. So but this is your general messages here. So I do know there's some transformation going on, something that is going to radically change in your life. And so for those of you who are kind of experiencing almost a loss kind of mentality, like you've been really down in the dumps, expect shit to change. Okay? Universe is making that happen. You are going to grow. There's going to be, well, the lessons are going to basically add up here to a brand new you. You're not going to be the same person you were yesterday. But, like, once again, this Queen of Pentacles in reverse does talk like kind of almost like if we apply it to relationships or dating and stuff like that, it's a kind of a poverty mindset. Just not feeling like you're coming across maybe the most stable lovers. And this might also just indicate that you really feel like whoever this bozo is over here, you probably feel that maybe you've just been dealing with people that are financially irresponsible, or they don't really have much to their name. These are people that can't they can't hold down a job for shit. They don't, they're not on your level. And so this may not even be you, Cancer. This may not even be you. This could be just people you're dealing with. Why? Because you're on defense against them. You kind of just don't want to deal with that anymore. So for some of you that have been dealing with almost deadbeat people, lazy people, it's probably indicating that through this transformation, you're just realizing, I don't want to deal with that anymore. And also, if it's not dealing with, specifically to some deadbeat, maybe you're dealing with somebody that makes 100K. Well, they're not a deadbeat, clearly. Then this might just be, I don't know, it could just be you having your own, difficulties trying to get through, success. But, just apply it how you see it there. I gotta move on here. Cancer. Alright. We're gonna go to, what do we got next? Oh, our love singles, not dealing with anyone. I added that in. Yes, I did. Because I was worried that, that target audience was going to be upset that I'm not including them. I need to shuffle the cards, so like I said, just skip to the portions you want to watch and the timestamps down below, please. It's really boring watching someone shuffle cards. If you want to do it, you sure can, but I'm just letting you know. It's always the reason I put those timestamps down below is so you can just skip right to the stuff you need to hear. Because I, unfortunately, don't have 20 decks like some tarot readers do, so I have to shuffle these back. If you'd like to donate to the channel, so I can get some more decks, by all means, that would be appreciated. And some of those donations that have already come through have already gone through for software and stuff, which for the animations and things that I'm using, if you haven't noticed. So yes, it does go to the right things. What do we have for our love singles? What do we have for our love singles that are essentially not dealing with anyone at all? Tell me about our Cancers that are single, not dealing with anyone, going in the first 2 weeks of January, please. What can they expect? Two cards, please. Ew, okay, well. Tell me more about the Queen of Wands. Upright. I like it. Let's see who this is. Who is this Queen of Wands? that's about? Three of Wands in reverse. Some of you essentially, okay, so if you are single here, okay, and you're not dealing with you don't have any lovers whatsoever, okay? So you have nobody that you're prospecting with, okay? But you are interested in love. It's a love reading, folks. So if you're like, I don't have any interest in anyone whatsoever, and I don't really want to, and stuff like that, then why are you watching this? Okay? If you got nobody that you're dealing with, it's suggesting you're going to have to do some work. 10 of Wands, carrying a heavy load. I do think some of you, on the flip side, there's two ways we can look at that. First off, either some of you are just feeling like, you've been on this endless search. I mean, look at this chick right here. She's like she's on her knees pretty much. She's just tired of doing it. So it's understandable. Just be honest here. If you feel like your dating game's just been a struggle, well, probably has. Why do I say that? Because life is what you see it. So it's how are you doing it? If you're doing the same thing over and over again, expect to get the same results. What is the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So for some of you out there, if you've been doing that, gotta change it up. Put your Nikes on. Get moving. Do something different. Okay? I'm getting a sense a lot of you are just, though, unfortunately, whichever way I try to do my motivational pep talk, I think you're just, not happy with where things have been going. You just feel like you've been putting too much work into things. However, we got the Queen of Wands here upright. So that tells me that there is going to be an opportunity or possibly somebody approaching you or somebody that's interested in you. This person could be somebody that is very energetic, very sexy. It doesn't have to be, I'm not talking about supermodel here. So when I say that, don't think they're 10 out of 10 on the scale here. Let's be realistic here, folks. Not everyone's going to get a 10 out of 10 supermodel, whatever, that just has the perfect qualities and everything like that. It's not life. Who this person, though, is probably somebody that is charming. Somebody that can just be fun. Somebody that would definitely excite you. Okay? They might be at a distance. A little mysterious. Okay, but rest assured, this person is a lot of fun to be with. Okay? Three of Wands in reverse, unfortunately, indicates here that this person may not make the first move. Bummer. So this means that this person may make their presence known to you, but you might have to reach out to them, okay, if you want it to work. Otherwise, don't expect it to go anywhere. You can continue on with this heavy load somewhere else. I'm just letting you know, okay? So it seems in some ways that the universe is going to line something up for you, okay? And how this is probably going to appear is that someone will come in your vicinity and entertain you. Meaning they might say, hey, how's it going? What have you been up to? Oh, it's been a while since I've seen you. Could be something simple like that. But the universe really kind of tests you like that. It'll put something like that and it'll see what you're doing. Especially if it knows you haven't been doing the work. Because a lot of us fall into that illusion, that trap, that shit should just be put before us. Why? Because I don't know. It's just how life should be. I'm just that important that life should put things in front of me. Okay? And for others of you, feel that you've done this enormous, endless searching, but sometimes that's a bit of an illusion. Why do I say that? Because odds are pretty statistically good that when you really look down, deep down, into the center of the problem, you'll find that the person really isn't putting that kind of work in. It's just kind of, they talk about more of the illusion that they are putting in the work, but really, when you look at the amount of time actually put into trying to find someone or do something, it's very little. Okay, that's not all of you, I get it, so I'm not bashing all of you out there, but just be aware of that. If you know for a fact you haven't been going out there, and it doesn't matter, if you're a female sitting and like, well, I shouldn't have to do that, get off your pompous horse and go and do something, okay? If there's situations where, unfortunately, not every woman out there is a supermodel Barbie, okay? So they're not going to have every single guy up their ass chiming for them. And you may also find if you are a woman here that's, you know, decently attractive, or you feel you are and stuff like that, but you're still not getting anyone, this could mean that your standards are too high. Just letting you know that people just, you know, men that are probably, or women that are coming into your life, just feel that you have this, you're hard to please. There's a lot of shit they got to deal with when they deal with you. You know, there's no specific way for me, you know, obviously the way I can read these cards whichever way I want, and that's what intuitively is coming to me with the Ten of Wands there, is that you might be turning, you know, potential lovers off with just that, you know, you have a lot, it's almost like a burden to deal with you. Why? Because you probably come across as somebody that just has a lot of, like, just telling them about all your shit that's going on in your life. Like, why would you, seriously, if you're out there, you're single and you want to find somebody, okay, if this Queen of Wands shows up, which, like I said, it could be a man or a woman, whatever you're into, this person is definitely someone that could be fun, but I'm very concerned with the Three of Wands in reverse there, clarifying to it. And with the Ten of Wands here, so my second intuitive story is that you might turn this person off just from all your talking about all your setbacks and problems and issues. So for those of you that are in that kind of scenario, that love to just go roam on and, you know, you meet someone and that's the first shit coming out of your mouth, you need to stop. And if you don't know how to do that, then you need to go and get a life coach, somebody that can help you with that, okay? Because that's not going to turn on your potential lover, especially if it's Queen of Wands. Expect this person to get bored easily. Just letting you know. So when this opportunity does come towards you, expect them to get bored very quick. But it can be prosperous. It can turn into something more than that if you meet them halfway and you interest them. So if you're somebody that just, like, I just can't be bothered to do that, then don't. Your choice. Moving on. That's all I got for you. Okay. Going to the non-singles now. What do we got for our non-single Cancers? Meaning they're in a relationship. First, tell me Cancer's recent past. Those Cancers dealing in a relationship that are actively involved, dating somebody. What is their recent past? 2 cards, please. What has Cancer been focused on? Those Cancers in a relationship. What has their focus been in the relationship? What can our non-single Cancers expect going into the first 2 weeks of January? Oh, God. Kind of a heavy one here. What advice do we have for our non-single Cancers going into the first 2 weeks of January? Okay. Oh, man, that felt good. Alright, so your recent past year, Cancer, we have 3 of Cups in reverse and 6 of Cups in reverse. Womp womp. So this is talking about essentially that you've been playing it safe to some extent. This is generally speaking with, you know, when it comes to probably your love, the romance a little bit, might have been a little bit on the down low. Wands energy is never really good when it's reversed. Oh, I'm sorry, not Wands, water energy when it's reversed. It generally talks about the, and I'm sorry if I said 3 of Wands and 3 of Cups. Generally talks about a lot of the worser side of the emotional complex, meaning that, in this case, things falling apart, things that didn't go to plan. So I don't know if you're trying to, you know, maybe you're trying to, you know, you're hoping for more life in this relationship for some of you. Or more, maybe it's just like, you know, having good times with each other, you know, the bonding, element, essentially. The Three of Cups in reverse does a lot of times talk about, unfortunately, just the shittier side of life. It's when things are not going so well. Okay? So I don't know if there might be some problems in this, relationship a little bit. Six of Cups in reverse, and that's talking about possibly holding on to the past when times were sweeter. A little concerning there. Let me clarify one here, because I just want to make sure to figure out what this is about. Clarify the Three of Cups in reverse. What was Cancer upset about? What didn't go Cancer's way? Page of Wands in reverse. Is there like a shitty sex life here? It's kind of just pointing out to the same thing, that there's like delays in this connection, Cancer. So for those of you dealing with somebody that are actively involved in their life, and you are connected as a relationship, it just kind of seems like things are not going in the direction that you had hoped for. What direction do we all want? We want things to be heading towards marriage, a lifelong connection, true love, romance, passion, and this doesn't seem like it's doing that. Okay. Focus. King of Swords in reverse. Five of Pentacles. Clarify the Five of Pentacles upright. Why is that there? That's what Cancer is focusing on. The Chariot. Yeah. What the hell? This has so much delays and things not going well. Five of Pentacles can be being put out in the cold with your partner, potentially. Some of you may have, for a small portion of you, may be going through some financial hard times. Things are not really going good from that department, and that could definitely cause a lot of canceled celebrations. Even sometimes, like if it was a wedding or an engagement, that could also fall through. With the Five of Pentacles showing up here, talk about, unfortunately, hard times, health difficulties. It is more focused on the materialistic aspects of life. So I have to assume that there was, who knows, finances could be a problem here for some of you in a relationship that is really straining the relationship. The Chariot in reverse is talking about sometimes reckless energy, or it's just not going in the right direction once again. King of Swords in reverse. This further concludes, kind of supports the idea that there could be a loss of passion in this relationship. The King of Swords in reverse is very closed off. He's very cold. He can be a bit of an asshole, actually. He can be rude. Not a nice person to deal with. This can be a lover, if you're in a relationship, that can be a bit abusive. Just the words cut through the soul. And there's no concept. This type of person doesn't care. Whatever comes out their tongue, they just say it. Doesn't matter. They don't really consider how you're going to feel about it. They just say this kind of shit. This could also be you. Just remember that. Apply it how you see it. It's just between you, the headphones, and God. So there's no reason to lie here, folks. If you know you've had a kind of a tongue to you, and trust me, Cancers, when they're emotionally pissed off or hurt or cornered, like Scorpios, can sting pretty hard. Use words come out like the worst, most foul shit can come out. And yes, I know that's not for everyone, but a large portion of Cancers out there have that affinity and be very aggressive like that. It's one of the more scarier signs of the Zodiac, but Scorpio is definitely, I think Scorpio, I would say, is probably still the number one. Okay? But Cancers are definitely up there. Especially if you are a Cancer-Leo cusp sign, then you're very dangerous at that point. King of Swords in reverse is probably like your permanent, normal energy. How you approach life. Whatever the case is, you might be feeling like you're going through difficulties, struggles, things are just not going in the right direction, delays, blockages. The sex life may not be the best. It could be hit or miss. It could be one day it's okay, then it's not. For others of you, may just not be having any sex at all with your partner. Bummer. What to expect? The Tower and the Empress. So expect a thunderbolt from the heavens to really shake things up in your relationship, which will probably lead to growth, transformation. The King of Swords in reverse is somebody that is extremely cold. Did I not say that? And this is kind of the opposite of that. Somebody that's nurturing and loving and caring. It seems that the Tower is probably coming in here because that water energy has turned cold. Why would it turn cold? Because there's a loss of the Wand's energy is no longer there. Wand's energy it's vibrant. It's like the fire. It's like that ignition switch for the water to boil. And when water's boiling, it's active. The same thing applies in the tarot here. And when water signs, when they get stagnant like that, they become cold, closed off, shut off. And it seems like fire is what's needed. And that lightning bolt, when you see it coming through here, is going to ignite and stir things up. And it seems like it's going to have a positive result. Because the Empress Upright is a beautiful card to get. A lot of... this is somebody here that everybody wants. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the whole 9 yards again. But this is a person right here, a man or woman, that is going to have more of that emotional warmth. That's going to be more open to things. More loving, more caring. You know, that'll invest her time. That'll grow as a person. That'll help a relationship grow. You know, she's that rock, that foundation. And like I said, it's not gender specific with these roles. So just apply it how you see it. But I do think the universe is going to step in. Now, when you have that tower moment, okay, something is going to go horribly wrong for you. Or at least it seems like it will. Hence these people falling out of that tower. But just remember, the universe is shaking it up for a reason. It's to get things moving. So you'll see down the road that it's going to have a positive effect, I think, in the relationship. It might even actually push the relationship in a new direction, where it improves things if things have been going in the wrong direction. Advice is Knight of Wands upright, 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay, what did I just talk about? The Wands energy. Okay, so if you're paying attention, I was talking about how Wands energy is active. It makes the water boil. Okay, what's the advice? Knight of Wands. Okay, we need it's going to give you ignition, like life is going to give you the match strike, right? To get things moving here. Okay, so for some of you, if you've been saying, hey, you know, my relationship has just been sucking, it's been going slow, it's not going in the right direction, everything feels like there's blockages, there's delays, we fight, we argue, this or that, or whatever like that. If that shit's going on, okay, it's probably because you guys are emotionally closed off, and there probably, you know, might be a suggestion you need to have more sex. You need to have a sex life. Improve it. For those of you who are going through a difficult relationship, if you want to be with that partner, and I have to assume that if you're still with them, then you want to be, then if the solution to kind of recharging, reigniting the love, the passion, and stuff like that is you need to improve your sex life. So for those females out there that, you know, your partner comes home, if it's a male or something like that, do something wild for them. It might get them interested and aroused back into you again. Okay, and vice versa. If you're a male, try to do something different that maybe just doesn't always include just wanting to have sex. Why don't you, you know, bring her some flowers home or something, cook her dinner, do something romantic. Okay, just apply it how you see it. Okay, and then the 5 of Cups in reverse, suggesting whatever moping and issues you're having. Poor me, you need to stop doing it. You need to come out of that. Put the passion, the ignition, light that ignition switch. Okay? So, all this pretty... Sorry, I keep having cards falling and shit. Whatever, just go with it. So, yeah. Those of you in a relationship, there needs to be more action driven here. And you need to get more creative. If you're on hard times and things like that, just because you are out in the cold, and some of you might be saying, well, we've lost everything, blah, 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 and we're struggling and stuff. Have you really? Because you're watching me right now. Clearly not. I have been homeless in my life before for quite a period of time, and I definitely know how it feels. But I'm telling you right now, there's always possibility to do stuff, especially if you're in a relationship. You can always make things happen and keep things together. So everyone's going to be different situations. Just apply it how you see it. Try to move on. But yeah, definitely think there's going to be some growth here. Cancer's in a relationship. If you're going through a turbulent time with your partner, and just, you know, obviously just toss the reading if you're not. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. This is the kind of the story I was getting here. Going into the first 2 weeks of January. So, might be some rough times, some difficulties, but I'm definitely getting an intuitive sense. It's kind of focusing around. There's not much passion and drive in that relationship, which is a little concerning, because when that happens, things get cold. Hence, being out in the cold. So really evaluate that, especially if you are watching this and you're like, yeah, I'm watching this because I've been having concerns. Then, yeah, ask yourself, do you still want to be in a relationship? If you do, start getting kinky, baby. Do something different. Put that passion back in there. Okay. It's safe, but you know, sexuality and flirting and loving and sitting there, it's all part of the relationship. Can't just have the romantic movie or whatever like that and, you know, all sit down there. Guys are just different from women. That's reality. So, different needs. So, eye for an eye. And a lot of men are not going to do the things you want to do if you're not willing to do the things for them. And vice versa. If it's obviously female to male, whatever. So for you men watching out there, can't be all about you and your sex. It's got to be, like I said, you got to find something romantic for your lady. Do something that she would want to do. Change it up. Let's go to your money. And this is the last of the night. Well, for this reading, actually. What do you got for Cancer's money, career, and finance going into the first 2 weeks of January, please? You get 3 cards, please. How's money looking for Cancer going in the first 2 weeks of January? Yeah, 2022. 3 cards, please. There's that page of 5 of Pentacles again. I even split the deck, shuffled it like 4 times. Interesting. Page of Cups. Looking good there from that standpoint. Plenty of, looks like you're going to be trying to entertain, putting drive into something, it would suggest. So for those of you, and I think in the general message it was talking about something like that. So going into the first 2 weeks of January, it seems that you will be trying something new. I don't know what that is. Pushing in a new direction with the 5 Page of Cups there. And that could also, it doesn't necessarily mean pushing through because that's more Wands energy, but it does mean you are going to be putting more attention, focus, love. You're just like, you're going to be putting more emotional investment into something. Okay? 5 of Pentacles does talk about feeling left in the cold, financial hard times, difficulties. So I have to assume that some of you are going to be struggling with finances going the first 2 weeks of January. However, I think you are looking in, investing in, looking at different ideas with the Page of Cups there. New opportunities that are coming your way. Things that might interest you. That, you know, you can really apply yourself to. In a way that's going to emotionally, obviously, fulfill you. And 2 of Wands, indicating that you're going to be at a crossroads. So a lot of you are going to be faced with the decision here of which way to go. And I have to assume with the 2 of Wands here and the Page of Cups here, this is really kind of combing through. Maybe I don't like that. It's how is this career or this job, or how is this business idea or something like that, how is that going to apply to me, number one, and how is it going to apply with my happiness? So I think with the Sun in reverse, if I recall to the general messages, probably indicating, like I said in your past there, was probably talking about their Cancer, that you're trying to grow and change as a person. And I know I saw a Death card as well throughout the readings. So there is a change going on. And I think a lot of you are just trying to find a better fit for yourself in life, but something that can, you obviously can pull you money, right? We all want to be abundantly rich in money, and to do that, we have to work. But a lot of us just don't want to go to a job, something that sucks ass, that we come home and we just bitch and complain about. So I think this is, for a lot of you, kind of shifting it up a little bit, trying something different, and I like it. Pulling yourself out of the cold. Beautiful. Give me 2 challenge cards and 2 solutions going in the first 2 weeks of January 2022 for our Cancers. 2 challenge cards and 2 solutions in the financial department. What does Cancer need to know? I swear to God, I think in the Sun card, I was just talking about that, was it not? In the that was in your general. It was reversed though in the other deck. And in the Knight of Swords, I think that was also in the generals. I can't remember, or maybe that's no, that might have been the symbols. I don't know. Whatever. So in your challenge position here is Knight of Swords, talking about rushing into things too soon, prematurely. So for some of you Cancers out there, you know, as far as your money department, goes, would probably suggest you need to stop spending recklessly. The Devil in reverse is talking about you need to release whatever obsessions you have. Some of you could have shopping addictions, or this urge to kind of fulfill yourself in some ways with spending money. For some of you out there, this could really, you know, be filling a void in some ways. You spend money to basically make yourself feel better. Whether this be on food, that's still spending money. Is it on clothes? Is it on trucks or stuff for, you know, guns, whatever, if you're a guy, or whatever, your computers, or whatever you're into, okay? Whatever the case is, it's a money reading. Knight of Swords. Can't be reckless with money, okay? And it's talking about your advice, the Devil in reverse, indicating just that. You need to... obsessions, fears, phobias. Okay? For others of you, this could also talk about just really being like, you know, if we're talking about the Devil in reverse is your advice, it might be talking about that, you know, if that's the solution, it's talking about releasement of that. So I have to assume that there's been things holding you back from basically launching yourself into what you're really worth as a person. Many of you, there's many people out there that can actually, they have the potential and the know-how to be way richer than they're actually, you know, they might be making only, I don't know, like 60,000 or 70,000, which is a lot of money for some people. But really and truly with their abilities and their skills, they could actually be making almost double that or triple that. But they don't do it. Why? Because they come up with reasons and excuses why they can't do that. Okay? And that can be, like I said, when the Devil is upright, so it'll be talking about fears, phobias, worries and stuff like that, things that can hold us back, keep us trapped. The Devil doesn't want you to get out of that. In fact, you know, that collar that's around your neck is something that you can actually just lift up and move right on out that territory of the Devil really quick. A lot of people can't though, because they're so focused on their illusion that they've created that they forget, they don't even focus on the chain that's around their neck. That hey, I can just lift it off. They don't even worry about it. So trapped, and that's what the Devil wants. As long as he can keep you trapped, worrying about, you know, your fears, your phobias, and stuff like that, you're always a slave to him because you can't escape it because you're too focused on that, and not the simple solution of I just need to take this off. Okay, is reversed here. So like I said, remember that that's releasement of that. So it's almost encouraging you to do that, and I almost wonder if you're, you know, if that's the advice, you haven't done that yet. So it has to imply, like I was saying, like maybe you're just not wanting to voice your opinion or really take charge in life or do stuff, you know, change it up too much. Maybe you just feel like poor me. I've been getting a lot of that throughout the reading here, a lot of poor me energy. The Sun is in your second challenge, and this talks about what is, you know, a lot of the stuff I've already talked about before. Trying to be happy, trying to be fulfilled, but it's also a strong card of empowerment, a card that's talking about the individual, not just things in life. It's being content with, you know, your personality, who you are as a person, where you're going in life. Okay? All of us need to have that empowerment to know our worth, have that self-worth. And when we have that self-worth, meaning that we don't rely on other people, we don't depend on other people, we can stand on our own 2 feet and be happy with ourselves. We could be thrown in a fucking room, a solid room with nothing in it, and we'd still find a way to be happy with ourselves. Granted, I'm sure you wouldn't be for life. You know, they put you there for 100 years. It might be different, but that's the queer side of me thinking there. But, you know, I'm just saying it's kind of like being able to entertain yourself and not need or rely on anybody else. You know, it's just the ultimate happiness. You know, you feel just, because at the end of the day, there's plenty of people out there that are rich beyond their wildest dreams and stuff, and they're miserable. Why? Because they're still trying to fill a void in themselves. They haven't found themselves. What really makes them them? They've been successful. There's so many people focused on just money, 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 money. And they lose sight of like who they even are as a person. Just ignore it. Put it on the back burner, and before they know it, they don't even know who they are. And so the Sun is important because you'll find in life that It's the little things that make up you that bring you the most happiness. And when you're just like clinging on to old ways and things have to be a certain way, and it's I've been in hardship my whole life, and there's been difficulties and stuff like that, then it's poor me, and we'll get in that complex. Well, saying try to empower yourself, get out of that, okay? And the Queen of Swords is the advice. Sometimes you might need to, ruffle a few feathers. Queen of Swords, just remember, does have water with that air energy. So it is talking about you need to come at a more practical. It's calling for you to be more practical in your approach. Okay? What has and hasn't been working. Start examining it. She's the type of queen that will take the time to sit down and really look at what she's dealing with. But at the same time, she tries to be just. She tries to be fair. She doesn't take bullshit. Okay? She stands up for herself. If someone's going to call her out, she's going to be the first one to fucking tell them where to get off. Let me tell you. Okay? She's holding that sword for a reason. But just remember, it is a more closed-off energy as far as the emotional department, but she does have the water energy attached with the air energy. So it doesn't mean to say she doesn't have it. You are a water sign here, Cancer. So it is calling you, though, to use more of your logic side here when it comes to your financial matters, that you need to examine what is important to you very specifically. It doesn't mean to say you have to be completely emotionally closed off. You still find happiness and explore yourself, but perhaps you've been dealing with toxic people, okay, or bad situations, things that have been leaving you out in the cold, okay? Or it just could have been self-esteem issues that might have nothing to do with that. Just some of you might have been sitting at home for way too long and just not really exploring yourself or choosing to. Just feeling, poor me, poor me. I've been getting so much of that throughout this reading, all the readings, just for the Cancer reading I'm talking about. Just kind of this, it's almost this, that's what I feel. Like it's a poor me, like a victim mentality almost. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. Anyways, Cancer, we're hitting here 1 hour and 2 minutes, so I'm going to end this reading here. I hope you guys got something out of that. And probably, if you have time, check out some of the other videos and give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Like, share, subscribe, as I always say. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in.